Hi, welcome. We're going to be playing some Kerbal Space Program today, something a little bit different instead of a Blood Bowl, which we usually do. Um, if you don't know what Kerbal Space Program is, it is a game where you go to space and you do stuff. It's not, I don't want to call it a simulator, but it is kind of simulator-y. So there's that. Let's just kind of get into it and see what happens as we go. So here it is. I'm going to, I want to preface this too with telling you I'm not like super smart. I've played some. I've been practicing a little bit lately because I knew I was probably going to do this soon and I didn't want to look like a complete idiot, but this isn't going to be like a tutorial situation. The best you're going to get out of this is maybe learn some things not to do. If you want to go and learn how to actually play the game properly or well, you need to watch somebody like Scott Manley. He's probably my inspiration and taught me everything I know watching his videos. So I'll shout out a link to him at the bottom of the YouTubes if you're doing that. I'm watching this later here. There. I'm sure there's some other guys that do some great tutorials. He's just the only one that I really know. You can probably go to the Kerbal Space Program forums and find some good people. But throat's still a little foggy from the wedding the other night. Good wedding, by the way. Get off on that tangent later. Maybe I'll tell you a story about the wedding if you're lucky. So this isn't going to be like a tutorial kind of thing, so don't take this as like I'm going to learn how to play the game. You might learn some things, but they're not necessarily going to be the right things, if you know what I mean. So we are going to play career mode, and we're going to start a new career here. And we are going to name it KISS, which stands for the Kerbal Independent Space Solutions. And we are a company, I was going to make a flag, but I didn't. We are a company whose goal is to make a space program that is not only profitable, but also advance science and technology forward in the land of Kerbin. So we will go with this one as our flag. I like that one for this. That seems to be good. We're going to go career mode. We're actually going to play with the difficulty options. We're going to keep it on normal, but we are going to disable all of this. Oh no. So what this is all going to do is we are now going to be allowed to revert flights or quick load. So if I am going onto a moon landing and I screw it up and crash, that's that. I can't do anything about it. If I take off at the launch pad and I messed up building the rocket, well, that's that. I just got to pay the price. Missing crews respawn. Can't guarantee you I know what that means. I think it's if somebody dies, they don't come back. Auto hire crew members before flight. We're turning that off, so we have to remember to hire crew members, which I will probably screw up more than once. And no entry purchase required on research. That will make it so we have to buy things before we can use them. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So this is just generally going to make things a little bit harder. But we still have the same amount of starting money, and we still get the same amount of rewards. So that's it. So let's go start. Oh no, I lost something. I found it. Give me 1 second. Alright. I don't know, I gotta find a good place to put this stupid chat window again. I don't know why I use this thing, I hate it. I need to find a better way. I need an overlay that I can click through, because I can't click this one. So welcome to the KISS facilities. Let's take a little tour, shall we? Right here we have mission control. This is where we can take on new missions. And we can also view our active missions and old missions we've done. So a mission, every mission has a little description here. So shortly after disproving incredible theories on how we were really bored or just had no clue what to do next, the chief bookkeeper from Kerbin World First's Record-Keeping Society became compelled to investigate further and reached a debatable conclusion of how we actually had no clue what to do next. Now we need your help. They want us to launch a vessel to officially start off the program. Prestige is trivial. Our objectives are listed here, so this one's pretty easy. We just have to launch a new vessel. Rewards. The advance is what they give you in advance if you accept the mission. The completion is what you get if you complete it. So in this case, it would be 4,587. I really don't know what the monetary value in Kerbin is. Maybe it is the Kerb. We'll call it the Kerb. So 4,850 or 587 Kers. That's 5 science, and this is 11 reputation. And we would get, if we failed, we would lose 2,000 Kers. You can also see up here that it has, you know, the company, the agent is the Kerbin World First Record-Keeping Society, which is actually all the jobs we have are from them. And we are going to accept launching a new vessel. We're going to accept reaching an altitude of 5,000 meters, which is pretty easy. We're going to accept escaping the atmosphere. And we are going to accept orbiting Kerbin. We should be able to do all that stuff fairly soon. So next up, we have the space plane hangar right here. That's where we would build space planes with the runway right next to it. We'll get into that later. I don't have a whole lot of experience with space planes, and I'm not about to start trying now when we don't have the parts. Here we have the astronaut complex. This is where our astronauts hang out. We can see who's available, who's out in the field, and who we've lost. And this is a group of fledgling astronauts that want to be hired. Here at the Kerbal Independent Space Solutions, we have hired the best. Jebediah Kerman, Bill Kerman, and Bob Kerman had the highest test scores. They were the best equipped for the job. They're kind of stupid for the most part, except for Bob. That's important. These stats don't actually do anything, I don't think. If they do, I don't know what they do. So that's that. Next up, we have the administration building. So this is where some fancy pants people sit up here and just administrate things. Kind of big losers, if you ask me. I've never actually used this part of the game before, so we will just kind of take a look. And I believe what they do is basically you have a setup cost, you can adjust the commitment here, and it trades future gains from one category to another. So in this case, you could take 5% of your reputation gains and get funds instead. You could take money and get, you know, science as opposed. So we will probably actually come back to this later because the good ones have a, you know, reputation cost. We'll do things, or a setup cost. So we might do something like get rid of reputation in favor of science, because science and money are what we care most about. We'll worry here at KISS. We'll worry about the reputation later. Oh, next we have up our research and development department. R&D is very important here at KISS, and as you can see, we haven't really done much yet. This is sort of like a tech tree in other games where we unlock parts through research. So we don't have any science yet, so we can't unlock anything. We can also go here and pick various planets and their moons, and we can see what we have done, what experiments and what places we've been to and what biomes we've been in. But we have done none of that yet, so that'll come up later. We have our tracking station. So this shows us where all of our pieces and parts out in space are, and we can change to control something else. This is something here I think's new, because I've never seen it before until just recently. But all these unknown objects, I don't know what they are or what they do. We may have to learn that together at some point. We may have to go explore an unknown object, but they're pretty far out there too. I don't know how far. Oh, they just disappeared. Yeah, it doesn't even tell me how far away. Oh, there it is. So Class C objects are about average sized, around 7 to 10 meter range in radius. These are certainly not the largest objects out there. They are fairly massive nonetheless. So it doesn't give me any information on how far away it is. I have, like I said, no idea what this does. And we'll learn together later. I never even read about it. I just noticed it on the map the other day when I was playing. So last but not least, we have our launch pad and our vehicle assembly building. This is where we will do most of our vehicle assembling as opposed to the spaceplane hangar. They both kind of do similar things. So let's just get started. We've been doing this for a little while now and haven't done anything. We're going to start with a command pod. So this is where our brave Kerbin will sit while he flies. And on top of that, very important, never forget this, the parachute. If you don't bring a parachute, things are going to get bad. I didn't talk about the mods earlier, and I meant to. So I have a couple of mods installed. I have the Kerbin Engineer Redux, which just gives me stats about the ship. So if we come into here, and we pick up a, where the hell, propulsion. So if we grab a fuel tank and an engine, you'll see that we now have, in our first stage, some stats. So we have a cost here, our mass. ISP is the, oh, I forget what that stands for, but it's basically the, you know what, we're dummies, let's not worry about what ISP is. Thrust is your amount of thrust you have. Thrust to weight ratio is very important. If this is less than 1 on a stage, we will not move. And delta V is how much energy you have, how much you can change your velocity. So we have 1,303 meters per second of delta V and a 16.9 second burn. So that wouldn't get us very far. We don't necessarily need to get very far, but we want to get pretty far. We're going to build a stupid rocket that's going to kill us, and we're going to try to put it in the orbit right off the bat, because remember, we're all about advancing, and as quickly as possible. If we can knock out a bunch of jobs in one go, and that's what we want to do, even if it's stupid. So I have no way to knock these off, but as you can see, I have a pretty, I doubt this is going to go, I'm just going to say it first, I doubt this is going to go into orbit. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Staging down here is important. This is the order things happen in when I push buttons. If I fuck that up, which I will, then bad things are bound to happen. Now there are fancy ways I've seen of like blowing off these, because the problem right now is we don't have any sort of decouplers yet which allow you to blow things off. And we'll have some shortly. We don't yet, so we have to make do with what we have. The technology for a decoupler is in the works. We know that they're possible, we know that they exist, but we haven't done them yet. So this is what we're going to launch, and this is going to be the first launcher, Mach 1, or we'll call it the early, or we'll call it the maiden voyage. This is going to be, yes, the maiden voyage, I think that's best. And we are going to send the brave Jebediah Kerman certainly, Jebediah, I want to have a talk with you before you go. I know this rocket, it looks crazy. And I know that you think it's never gonna go, but I have faith that with you piloting this rocket, we can make it far. So get in there, strap in, and let's go. Let's go to the launch pad now. Oh, look at that beauty. So let's prepare our systems. You can see right here, this is part of Kerbal Engineer. I also should have a Kerbal alarm clock installed as well. What this does is let me set up points to stop, well, remind me of things that are happening that I need to know about, and stop my time acceleration so I can accelerate time freely and then just wait until that kicks in. It'll drop my time acceleration a minute before whatever time I set it to. And this is just some information here. It's good to have some of it, and it's also up here. So we are going to prepare for launch. We have to turn our SAS on, which helps keep us stable in flight, which we will definitely need with this. We are going to thrust engines up. We are going to prepare for launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Okay, things are looking good. You see how fast that's going. We are definitely going to make it above that 5,000 mark. We're going to cut engines now for our main engine because there's no point in going this fast in such a heavy atmosphere. You know, we may, I doubt it, because I think this thing's going to be too heavy. But, oh, I'm turning over. That's not good. Boost my engine. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're fine. Cut engines again. Just kind of let this thing float. We probably could have made it up into orbit, too. Okay, we're getting getting control. Jebediah. Good piloting. They got a little iffy there. We're going to thrust back up and see if we can't get out of the atmosphere, at least in the fuel we have. So you can see we've already achieved 2 of our mission goals. That's good. There's the moon up there and all of its beauty. Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We don't have a whole lot of Delta V left. So we're just going to try to get as high up as we can. I don't even think we're going to be able to escape the atmosphere in this. Maybe if we hadn't lost so much speed doing all those flips. But we're lucky that he made it out of here alive. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just opened up the parachute already. Oh, God. So now that we're way up here, I'm going to go ahead and get a crew report. And crew reports and other science things that give you all kinds of stats here. If we had a communitron, we could transmit the data, which in this case will give you 100% of the science. But we didn't put one on there because that takes power, and we don't have a ton of power. So we're just going to keep that on Jebediah. We're going to look at the map. We have a map view here. We'll get more into the map view later. I don't know why I'm telling you so much about the game, because I said right at the beginning that this isn't a tutorial. I really hope that I didn't lose my parachute from opening it up that early, because I'm kind of concerned that I don't see a parachute floating in the air. So this could be Jebediah Kerman's first and last flight. Although the explosions from these tanks landing might be just enough to send him safely into the water. So now we're just kind of going to wait for things to happen. I can probably speed up time a little bit at this point. And just float through the air. Look at that horizon. It's a pretty nice looking horizon. There's the sun, the moon. As we float back down. There's our parachute. It's a little scary because it's still coming out. I'm lucky I don't have any mods that cause burning to do actual damage because this could be bad. But we are coming down. We are coming down safely. Now I have to be careful with the warping, because if you warp too much at the wrong times, when you're this close, then bad things can happen because of physics, and it's a physical time acceleration as opposed to a sort of theoretical. When you're out way up in space, nothing's going to happen. But sometimes like your parachute will open up here, and if you're at like max 4 times speed, it just explodes off and it's really nasty. So we are coming down. Jebediah will be coming to Alright. It's fine, everything's fine. It was a little scary, but everything's great. Jebediah made it. We recovered some science. We completed some missions. We got 8.5 science. We're up to 13 science. We got some of our money back from recovering parts. And Jebediah lived. We picked up reputation. Let's see if we can... Where's the one? Oh, see, I need this unpaid research program is what I'm shooting for. But I need quite a bit of reputation. So I could probably do something like exchange money for reputation now and then get more reputation later, but I'm just going to hold off. So let's go see what we can research with our science. We can get basic rocketry, which will give us some new, bigger and smaller fuel tanks, a mystery goo containment unit, which I didn't think came that earlier, and a stack decoupler, which is very important. So we're going to research that. And the next here is 15, 18, and 20 science. I think they changed the cost on these recently, because this all looks different. So, we'll hold off on purchasing all the parts until we think we need them, because we're going to be frugal here. So now we did that, let's go check out new missions. So we have a test the MK-16 parachute flight, which we're probably going to do anyways. And the solid fuel booster. The research and development department would like that tested, so we might as well. TR-18A stack decoupler in flight from OMB Demolition Enterprises. So these things we have to be at certain levels when we use them. So I can't guarantee that we're going to need to use one when we're at this, but we have a day and 5 hours to complete it, which is actually 11 hours. Achieve an altitude of 56,000. We're going to do that because we plan on going to space here real soon. So we're going to build a new rocket with the intention of going to space. I don't know what you're talking about down there, but that's cool. So we're going to buy this bigger one, we're going to buy this smaller one, and we get the TR-18A stack decoupler for free right now because we have a mission. So we are going to slap one of those on, and then put fuel tanks, and that one should be enough to do some stuff with. Oh, we need a rocket on there. Dirt. And then put another one. You know what, we're just gonna go. Yeah. Another 2 of these doohickeys with another engine. This is gonna fail miserably, just to let you know. I think this is too long already. But we only have so many options here. And also, it's probably way too much power for what I really need, but I'm bad at this, remember. So it'll all be okay. hold off on that. Make sure our staging is all correct. That looks good. Let's name this one To Space We Go. Let's launch. Fire up the SAS systems, and we don't have to throttle the engines yet as we're firing boosters at the beginning. Let's see what happens here. Successful takeoff. That's good. That's a good speed. I'm worried this thing's going to be very difficult to control once we get up there. We need to start turning. Just coming about up. Start turning over to put ourselves into an orbit, hopefully. It should be good. We should have plenty of fuel to get up into orbit and come back, even if it's a low orbit. So we're just going to hold steady here. So, what we're going to try to do is kind of follow behind our marker here. So we want to do this as efficiently as possible. As you see, we're almost already out of fuel on this rocket. Of course, we're going to move a whole lot quicker in the smaller rocket once we dump those extra tanks. And we might be able to do it. It'll be a low orbit, but it'll be an orbit. So our apoapsis over here is almost up. It's about 80. We still have half a tank of fuel. We're going to cut there and wait until we get up out of the atmosphere, and then we will come to our trusty map and we will set a maneuver node. So this actually all worked out pretty well. We might not be able to get like a completely circular orbit. We don't want to push ourselves too hard. We don't want to leave poor Jebediah stranded, because remember here at the Kerbal. Oh my God, how did I forget the name of my the Kerbal Independent Space Solutions? Our first concern is safety. After money. I guess maybe science. Mostly money. That's what we're worried about. Alright, we are breaking out of the atmosphere. We are in space. Now we must try to get it to an orbit. So we're just going to extend that out. And there we go, that's 104. That is, I gotta find a better solution for this chat window. 106, so that's almost circular too. So I take 372.6 milliseconds per second of delta V, which we have 1900 available to us at the moment. So that should be more than enough to get us up there and get us back. Now let's look at Kerbal alarm clock. So this is why I like this. You haven't seen this yet. So I can do that and speed it up, and then when we get within a minute, drop it right back down for us. so we don't miss it. So now we're going to line up with the target node down here in our nav ball, and then we'll just wait until it's about time to burn. Oh, see, I did a bad thing there and I sped it up too much. So we're going to miss it by a little bit. Now we're just going to watch our periapsis here and wait until it does that, which we went a little bit too far. So we're not circular, we're a little bit off. But hey, it's not too bad. And we could fix it if we wanted. But I don't want to run out of fuel, and I did that before in the past. So, Jebediah, how does it feel to be in space? Give us a crew report. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Hold on to that for us, Jebediah. Bring that back so we can study it. So now we can just zip around the planet. Never to come back until we decide to. I don't think we have any missions that we didn't. Oh, we gotta try to test the parachute. So that requires us to not only be at a certain altitude, but be at a certain speed. So I actually want to save a little bit of fuel in case I need to speed up or slow down when I'm coming through the atmosphere to reach that point. So let's go ahead and get ready to come back. So what we're going to do is, since I want to save fuel, we want to do this efficiently. So we are going to wait till we get back around to our apoapsis, and we're not going to do what I just did. Burn down until our periapsis gets decently back down to the atmosphere. Add our alarm. Line up with our target. And we got 30 minutes until we need to do this burn. That's going to be a real quick burn. There's the moon. We'll go there soon. Probably not tonight. Well, I've only been playing for about a half hour, so maybe tonight. Here we go. Down to 3 minutes. Jebediah prepares to burn. Alright, that was good. That's good enough. And speed up until we come back in. Now we need to wait until we're at 13,000 to 15,000 meters. We'll see what our speed is at as we approach that. We might have to speed up or slow down to make sure we're in the right testing conditions for our parachute. We need to get this money from OBM. We'll actually probably do an EVA report this time, since it looks like we're going to land on some land. Maybe, I don't know. We might even land near Kerbin, depending on how much we slow down. Or near the Space Center, Kerbin, near KISS. So here we go, coming in. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I don't know if we'll land. Oh, there we go. It looks like we might end up dipping into the ocean. Maybe not. Oh, let's see. We are going 2,000 meters per second, but that's about to change here real soon as we could dip into this heavier part of the atmosphere. It looks like we might land on land. I know there's a mod that'll give you better indicators of where you'll actually land, taking into account everything. I should really look into picking that up. So we're approaching the speed we need to be at, or the height we need to be at to drop our chute for the mission. And we still got quite a bit of speed. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll end up right in there. There we go. So if we blow the parachute now, we are good. And we're just gonna decouple this while we're at it. And now we'll be able to come down safely. Probably in the water again, though. It looks like, yeah. Alright, so another successful mission, knocking out quite a few contracts here in one go. That should give us some good money to start with. And this should also be a pretty decent reputation boost for us. There we go. Safe landing. Let's recover. We earned 15 science. We're up to 70 science. Got quite a few funds now. And a huge reputation boost. Alright, thank you for watching the first half. If you enjoyed it, please follow me on Twitch to catch me playing live, follow me on Twitter for updates at Siggy2021, or subscribe to my YouTube to catch my newest videos.